Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, the spiritual philanthropist. This is Ralph Shiva. So, I've been doing a lot of research right now, and like I said, I am not a Christian, Muslim, or Hindu anymore. I don't prescribe to the idea of labels. It doesn't make any sense. They were never there in the first place. Only people put these labels on people, I think, to be able to separate people. You can't do it without having labels on them and being able to categorize people or anything else. So I stay away from that now. I just believe that there is a God, a one Almighty God, and there are other things in the world as well that exist. But God is the creator of everything. I believe in that. Uh, Here's some interesting things that I did find, and I definitely want to share this with you as well. So something that you may or may not find interesting is that I was looking up in the Bible, and it says that in Matthew 24:3, as Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. Tell us, they said, when will this happen, and what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? Luke 21:29-31. Then he spoke to them a parable. Look at the fig tree and all the trees. When they are already budding, you see and know for yourselves that summer is now here. So you also, when you see these things happening, know that the kingdom of God is near. And then Matthew 24:6 says, you will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you're not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. And then we have, there will be famines. These are the signs that people will see. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. So it sounds like whatever he's saying is that there will be some sort of like labor happening on the planet before, you know, Christ comes. And when I use that term labor, just like they use in the Bible, you know, if you think about things on the level of scientific thinking here, you'll know that when anything happens that can affect the earth in such a way, it either happens from the inside of the earth or for something massive outside of the earth. One of those two things will make the earth tremble and shake. I'm saying on a scientific level. Now we're going to get into that much later, but first, this is Second Esdras 5:7-17. Fish will be washed up on the shores of the Dead Sea. The voice of one whom many do not know will be heard at night. Everyone will hear it. This is very interesting. He's saying fish will be washed up on the seas, guys. And I just want you to take a look at this and you tell me what you think.
A river in the outback. This after an unprecedented die-off following floods and hot weather, according to police.
I haven't got a time frame at the moment, but I anticipate it will be this week, and obviously
Very strange, isn't it?
The people of India, I want that to be sooner rather than later.
Officials say it likely happened because the fish need more oxygen in hot weather, but oxygen levels in the water dropped after recent floods receded.
It's a tale of two stories now. There's no flow and the quality looks bad and it smells bad, so we're just trying to see if there's any.
You see the problem I have with them saying that, they're kind of like brushing it off. Oh, it happens all the time. No, only in the last recent year, really, or a couple of years, since COVID, actually, you've been seeing a much higher population of fish and different, geographically different parts of the world, this so-called oxygen thing happening where it's a lack of oxygen. And you think about this, if fish are dying in the ocean of a lack of oxygen, something is happening in the atmosphere too as well. You have to think about that.
Fish that have survived in this water, but I don't have high hopes of seeing any fish this afternoon.
One town official said keeping the town's water supply pure was the main priority. Removing the dead fish was the next most pressing issue. Mass fish deaths have been happening on the Darling River in recent weeks. Tens of thousands of fish were found at the same spot in late February. There were also several found near the South Australia and Victoria borders. Enormous fish kills also occurred on the river at Menindee during severe drought conditions in late 2018 and early 2019. Authorities say the current death toll looks far bigger than the events back then.
Guys, I just want to say that this is definitely something that we should really be paying attention to. It's pretty scary what's happening. And I don't mean to be a doomsdayer or whatever the hell that's called, but you have to look at this for what it is, man. And here, look, closer to home, you'll see that it's really strange.
And the location is Bryan Beach. Right here along this area, this stretch of beach was loaded with fish the other day.
Look at that.
And apparently what happened was the oxygen levels right here off the coast of Bryan Beach, right out in here, the fish got into a depleted oxygen area. And then, of course, the side effects were this right here. And some accounts say there were millions, some say there were thousands. Either way, that is a lot of fish. And this is just one area that we know of. That looks very ominous when you see that, a large amount of fish like that washing up on the shore at the same time. So these fish swimming together must have ran into a very large area that was depleted of oxygen right out here off the coast of Freeport, and they ended up along the beach of Bryan Beach right here next to Freeport, Texas. And that was a
You know, I like this guy a lot. Is if you guys want to subscribe to him, I'm subscribed. You can see here, Mr. MBB333, and you know, we have a lot in common in some of the ways we think. He's just a lot more technical, I believe, than I am. But that's why I respect him so much, and he's very, very down to earth and stuff. So I really like this guy. But you know, they keep seeing the same theme over and over, that there's a lack of oxygen for these fish. And what does that tell you? If something in the ecosystem changes, it's going to affect the entire ecosystem. If something in the air changes, that means that the water changes. You know what I mean? You have to look at it like that. Something in the water changes, that means something in the air changes. We are the inhabitants of this part of the ecosystem where we breathe oxygen. They also breathe oxygen, but on a different level, you know? And something's really, really seriously going on, and the government's not saying anything. And it's just really strange. You know, it's really strange to me. There's some really scary stuff happening here. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I look at this as a sign. You know, I really, really look at this as a sign to come. Here's something interesting here. I think you'll find this again, you know.
After thousands of dead fish washed ashore, state park and wildlife officials in Brazoria County are now warning people to stay away from the beach. Experts say that low dissolved oxygen, which can lead to algae growth, seems to be causing the deaths. Photos from Quintana Beach County Park show just how many fish have been swept ashore out there. Now, crews started removing the fish from the shore, but they say the issue continues.
Wow, this is insane, guys. You know, and I like to keep track of all. I mean, there's so much stuff out there that you can see. You know, I mean, look over here in Chile. You know. This is in Chile. Hundreds of dead birds wash up on the Chilean shore. So why are these animals, you know, dying? What's going on that all these animals are dying, guys? You know, you have to ask yourself that is there something going on that they just don't want us to know here? You know? I'm still very confused at it all. Not sure what to think about it, but I'll tell you, it's very scary. And like I said, second estrus, you know, estrus. If you look here, which is right here, fish will be washed up on the shores of the Dead Sea. The voice of one whom many do not know will be heard at night. Everyone will hear it. Hosea 4:3. Therefore shall the land mourn, and every one that dwelleth therein shall languish, with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of the heaven. Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. You know, and Revelations 8:9, a third of the living creatures in the sea died, and a third of the ships were destroyed. I mean, you have to think, you know, after seeing that, you have to ask the question, what is the reality of what's going on here? Are we all just like crazy, or this is all just fictitious, or something really, really going on here? Is something really happening here? You know, and here's something I found really interesting as well, is that, here, hold on, I'll find it here. I thought you guys might find this interesting. Let me look here. Hold on one second. Something that I thought that they should have emphasized a little bit more to us on what's happening. You know, here.
Also contains neatly arranged stairs and is still intact. who built all of this. Many believe that this is a remnant from long-gone people that have been kept intact until our times. Nevertheless, there is talk among the villagers that the passageway leads to where the angels are held captive. This tunnel is called the legendary Euphrates Tunnel, and it was built under the Euphrates River between 2180 and 2160 BCE to connect the two parts of the city of Babylon in Mesopotamia. After all of these, she dug a 4-square pond in a low area of Babylon, with each square being 300 furlongs long, lined with brick and cemented with brimstone, and was 530 feet deep. She first diverted the river into this pond, and then she built a passage in the shape of a vault from one place to another, with arches made of solid brick and bitumen 4 cubits thick on both sides. Along with and above the arches, the walls of this vault were 20 bricks thick and 12 feet high, and this tunnel also contains neatly arranged stairs and is still intact.
So the reason this is important about the Euphrates River is that also I researched this as well. I'll read it to you now. Revelation 16:12, the sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river of Euphrates, and its water was dried up to prepare the way for the kings from the east. Now, in the book of Revelations, what they're talking about is a great war that's about to take place between I believe, the leaders of the earth and the Antichrist. So the Antichrist and the leaders of the earth, I believe, fight together. That is when things really start going, I guess you want to call it sour, when that war starts to happen, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so I'm trying to do this as best as I can. And like I said, this is really weird. We have a lot of interesting. So it's Matthew 24, lots of dead fish. Yeah, Jonathan, that's exactly. I got my buddy Jonathan here that's watching. He's probably the only person subscribed to any of my stuff because they block and censor the shit out of everything I do, guys. But just letting you know that I'm going to keep doing it regardless, because I know that they know that I can see things and I have things that I understand. And every time I say them, they do happen. So that's why I keep putting this stuff out, because I'm going to call it right before it happens every time. And if you don't know, if you're not on Facebook is where I do a lot of that, which I'll start branching out here onto YouTube as well. On Facebook, you can find me as The Spiritual Philanthropist. Also, if you go to TikTok, I'm on there as The Spiritual Philanthropist as well, or enter The Spiritual Philanthropist, one of the two. But check it out and you'll see me there. Guys, there is something going on. The Euphrates River is dry. We're seeing some of these signs happening all over the place, and there are people trying to doubt these things and say that they're not true. Like I said, I'm not religious in any way. I'm spiritual, but I am seeing these signs. I'm witnessing these signs just as much as you are. So there is something to it, and we know that whoever's in control of the media and what you see, they don't want you to see the truth. They have their own ideas. They are the masters of deception and illusion, not reality. So I'll leave you with that, guys. Okay? We'll talk soon. See you in the next video. Much love, peace, and happiness. And remember, don't believe those deceivers. Okay? Believe the receivers. Some of us are receiving real transmissions. And you can check them for yourself if they say something. Any of us talk, look it up and find for yourself whether it's true or not. The word is there. You just have to do the research. The truth is there. All right, talk to you guys. See you in the next video. Much love, peace, and happiness. Stay strong. Stay to who you are.